Dark and bizarre, bizarre and dark, dark and bizarre. You ain't leaving with all you brought, hopeless and helpless, chained to a wall. The blade's getting closer, the open grave calls. Why, oh why did I read those words? My damnation's infernal. I thought Joe couldn't steal my soul, but horror springs eternal.
Hello and welcome to Retro Ranger Reacts. It's part of the late spring, early summer season of World of Weber, and we're getting to the end of it. It will continue in some ways, but yeah, we're getting ready to get to the end of this wonderful experiment, which you guys have been so fantastic about. Letting us play around and try different things. You know, some I need to. Okay. Look. Attention, all people who worry about copyrights and stuff. Watch this.
Fair use, having fun, you know. Giving comments and reviews, and it's covered by fair use. Fair use, fair use, having fun.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire!
With the retro rangers, retro rangers, retro rangers, retro rangers,
Hey, everybody, you know I don't do this alone. Let's bring him in. The man who makes SB80 spin in space with his wonderful effort and his fantastic artistry. Folks, have you met my good friend and yours, Commander Joe Townsell?
Thank you, Captain. It's so great to be here as always. And you know, that Retro Rangers ditty we just listened to, and of course the fair use disclaimer reminds me that the glorious return of Retro Rangers is just around the corner. More on that. But it also reminds me that there's another special song. Do you mind if I sing it for you?
Sure.
The Saturday Superstar, Saturday Superstar, Saturday Superstar movie.
Now, we were just youngins in 1972. I was 9 years old, but I loved TV.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And you were right up there.
Right, I was right behind you.
I love TV. It didn't occur to me how weird this format of the Saturday movie is. I mean, it's odd. It's very odd. And I wonder, I couldn't find it in my cursory searching, but I wonder if it wasn't the perfect way for ABC to get pilots made for what might be a series and just see how it did. And obviously this one didn't do too well because it disappeared. No one ever heard of it again. But there were things like, you know, the Nanny and the Professor cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, right after this one, and we won't be able to watch it because I didn't clear it with copyrights. It has, I believe, an entire half hour devoted to Schoolhouse Rock.
Oh, yeah.
and that did continue, even though it was as interstitials between shows on Saturday mornings on ABC. But what an unusual format this was, and I feel like this was done occasionally. Like, didn't Scooby-Doo have a Scooby-Doo movies format for a little while?
I believe so. And of course, it made for, as we're going to see tonight, made for some really odd and unusual crossovers and team ups and so forth. And I mean, I loved the Saturday Superstar movie. I remember my, TV movies were on weekly, all three networks at the time.
That's right. It was a big deal.
Yeah, it was a big deal. And it's like, for me as a kid, it's like, well, I have to sit through these things with mom and dad, watching. But every Saturday I got my TV movie.
Yeah. I mean, Scott remembers it. It's a Scooby-Doo mystery movie.
Yeah.
We always love to give great credit to the people who give us these incredible profile pictures and defenders of the earth. I love it. He opened his dispensary of the Scooby-Doo Doobie Dudes. That's deliciously terrible, John.
Good old Scooby Snacks.
Oh, there's a reason why Shaggy stress eats. And if you go to my Facebook page, I actually put up a cartoon today that I got from another friend of mine. But anyway, and that was the punchline. There's a reason why Shaggy stress eats. Folks, let's just get to it, because I have a feeling we're gonna have plenty of time to talk during it, because I don't know about the pace on this thing. I don't know about anything about this thing. I remember it, and I showed it to Joe, and Joe was like, "Oh my God!" It was so funny because we were having a conversation online, and he was watching it at the same time, and he just kept bursting out with, "Holy cow! Look at Olive Oil in a bikini!" Like,
I mean, not just a bikini, but my goodness, she's almost naked.
Yeah, but in the way like a hot dog is naked. Where's okay?
She has no buns. That's true.
Let's get over to it. All right. Let's see. I'll share the screen. I am thrilled to say that we got permission. Nobody was gatekeeping this. That
was a close one.
Well, you never know, but you never know, right? I mean, we've run into, why are we the only people in the world who got in trouble for showing gargoyles? Like, you never know.
And huddles.
Huddles. I mean, no one even knows that damn thing existed. How could we get in trouble for showing it? Anyway, here we go, everybody.
I love the fact it's coming from a VCR.
Oh, this is this is the best copy I could find. So it's lost media. This is lost media. Just crazy. All right, here we go.
Saturday Superstar movie.
Let's sing it better.
Hey, it's Yogi Bear.
I don't know who that is. Oliver, I remember that clip. Oh yeah. Blasty, Rescue Ranger. Hey, Willie, hey.
There's Nanny. Is that girl? Is that
That's Marlo Thomas, right?
I think so.
Groovy music for the White House.
Yeah.
Chief, the briefing is about to begin. Everyone you asked for is here. The Phantom, Steve Canyon.
Mandrake and Lothar and Flash Gordon. Yes, sir, Chief. We'll do our best. Gentlemen, the Chief thanks you for coming. I suppose you're all wondering why you were summoned. Well, our country is in big trouble. All of the great comics whom you are about to see on the screen have disappeared. Popeye and Olive Oil, Tiger, Blondie and Dagwood.
I'm sorry, Joe. What was that?
Oh, I'm sorry. I just wonder who that voice actor is. You hear his voice in cartoons all the time.
Snuffy Smith and Louise and others. With these comics gone, the American people will soon have nothing to laugh at, except us politicians. So you see, it's a matter of
It could be Gary Owens doing some character work,
You could be right.
The entire
It sounds
American
like
political system depends on it.
but that part didn't sound like Gary.
But it could have been 2 or 3 different guys too.
We should entertain people during this dead spot. Oh, okay. Here we go.
Okay, here we go.
Look at that font, man.
I
Can
love
you
it.
find that typeface anymore?
I tried looking for it. Actually, I couldn't find anything even close.
All right.
Little
Hal
Hal
Seeger.
Yeah.
Now, is he the Seegers? Were they related to Popeye?
Yes, exactly. That's him, and I think all the other King's Feature people we're going to find tonight.
Grimsby, with the help of my evil computer, will completely eliminate laughter.
Do
from
you
the world.
remember this? And I asked this to
A
Joe,
world
but
without anybody
how about
laughing.
this? Okay, his name is not Bluto, it's Brutus,
Yeah.
and he's the henchman.
I mean, nobody ever laughing. That's a good one, Professor.
And this villain face appears
yeah.
all the time.
It too, Brutus. You know.
Big old elongated chin with that mustache.
Very Snidely Whiplash without the hat.
That's who I was looking for. Snidely Whiplash.
Meanies. The award
Brutus.
is awarded to the meanest man in the world, and I've won 6 years in a
He's-
row.
He's won the meanies.
I'll be the only
'Cause he's so
7-time
mean.
winner in history.
How many fingers is that?
For the moment we've all been waiting for.
7, I believe.
Oh,
The winner is Professor Morbid Grimsby. Thank you, my enemies. I want to thank everyone.
Oh, he hates laughter, but he likes booze. Well, who doesn't?
well, and he likes to smile. What's up?
He's smiling.
Yeah.
Time comes, I'll be the meanest man of all time.
John Atkinson says, "Is that the Barbie Dream Face sans serif?" Could be.
Sounds convincing to me.
Raphael brings up Filmation. Scott says Filmation was slightly more animated than this. Exactly true. And I do remember Filmation had an Archie show that was they were called the Funnies, I think, although it was on Saturday. It wasn't Sunday Funnies like us.
And how do I do that, you despicable pile of nuts?
I love the idea that comic strips are so funny that they make people laugh.
Brilliant idea.
I don't know if I've ever laughed at a comic strip. Like, I've read a lot of High and Lois. I've never laughed out loud anyway.
Now they don't typically, produce a good belly laugh.
No, honestly, when I was a kid, I did love the funnies, but I liked the art style. I liked the 4 colors. I liked, I could almost never follow the stories because I wasn't like a weekly reader. I was just a Sunday reader. Oh, he's got a Grimsby Spy in the Sky satellite, and someone else has a system of those, and his name is Elon Musk.
I think this is the same computer that fell in love with that guy in the. Remember Agnes in Twilight Zone? So this is what became of her.
I've got a radio show I can play you by Willis Cooper, who inspired Rod Serling.
Oh,
And that's maybe. Hey, wait a minute. Sweet Pea can talk?
I guess in this he can. I was just distracted by the very filthy water that Popeye's sitting in the back. It looked like an oil slick. I guess that's to hide his privates, huh?
Yeah. Nobody wanted to see his weird private parts with the anchor tattoo on it. A little elbow, a little curly Q elbow.
Oh, there she is. Man, that is sexy.
Dude. Now, normally when I see that body, I go Paris Hilton 2005. But I guess not. Oh, she's throwing the chanclas. Gotta be careful when you're
Our
dating a
friend Funny Luna
Latina.
would like that.
She might, yeah, you don't want to get a Latina mad at you. She'll throw the chocolates.
Oh yeah, he had the chocolates thrown at him a couple times when he was a kid.
Johnny A says early Bloom County could make me laugh out loud. Yeah. Scott
Oh yeah,
Freese
it's definitely
said,
exception.
Bloom County always. Now I'm old enough to understand it. Doonesbury. Yeah. I loved the art style in both of those comics. Popeye in a bathtub. That's not a periscope, kids. Cover your eyes.
You know, I did hear the guy once that did put a tattoo in that very private area. And when I guess somebody saw it and says, "What does that say, Swan?" He goes, "Yeah, but when it's hard, it says Saskatchewan." One of my favorite dad jokes.
There's a joke from is it Down Periscope or Up Periscope, the movie that Kelsey Grammer did. Anyway, Raphael says olive oil's name in Spanish is Rosario. That's kind of olive oil is not an attractive name. Rosario's a beautiful name.
Well, I mean, her brothers had worse names. Like one of her wrestlers was Castor, I think.
Yep, one of her brothers is Castor. That's right. And then she, at one point, the joke from the Popeye movie, which I liked, was, "Why did you name him Sweet Pea?" And Popeye says, "What was I going to name him? Baby Oil?"
Isn't it great how all these cartoon characters that have distinctly different drawing styles just all exist in the same universe?
It's this is the kind of diversity the world needs. I don't love a talking Sweet Pea. That bothers me.
No, yeah, that's disturbing.
Diana J. Brody is caught up with us. What did I miss? Roll her back. We can't roll her back, Diana J. But I will tell you that basically the meanest man in the world, who's what were the awards that he gets?
He gets the Meanie Awards.
The Meanies.
Yeah, he gets a Meanie.
He's trying to win a Meanie, and so what? Shelley Duvall was a great olive oil, but they had to strap her boobs down because they were too big. Busty Shelley Duvall is my favorite fantasy.
Well, I'll tell you, I mean, if you had 8 cups, you'd have to strap it down to be olive oil as opposed to a cartoon.
That is true. No, I was trying to get this one. There you go. It's the King Features MCU. I love that. It is. Okay, so
Comics Universe.
they're doing a Mr. Grimsby here, Mr. Morbid Grimsby, the meanest man in the world who hates laughter, is he's set up a fake cruise, the SS Hilarious. Would you ever get on a ship called the SS Hilarious?
No.
I would not.
Especially with Popeye at the helm. Now, who are these two?
I can't remember the name of that cartoon character.
That looked like King Vitamin going up the plank there. Remember that cereal?
That's the Little King.
Okay.
And he goes way back. There's actually a great cartoon of Betty Boop and him. That's like one of the earliest crossovers. Scott Free's killing me. This looks like a really long Electric Company cartoon. Did he just pull that sprayer out of his butt? No doubt. No doubt.
With his bag o' burgers.
SS Hilarious, literally the only cruise ship I'd ever board, says Brody.
Well, Brody knows something we don't, John, so I would trust your judgment. Oh, just saying. Never mind. Oh.
Gee whiz.
Why could the Titanic pop up again like that?
They did not have Wimpy at the wheel. That's why. So if Sarge and Beetle Bailey are on a ship, does that make them Marines?
Marines or sailors or all three, I guess.
Marines are, the soldiers, the infantry that is on ships.
Oh, right. I get it.
However, the old joke goes, why does the Navy have Marines on their ships? Because sheep are too obvious.
Oh,
Now that's a joke. I
yes, it
didn't
is.
say that. So any Marines out there, don't get mad at me. I'm just passing along a traditional joke.
Never got into the Katzenjammer crew here.
I have always wondered why American culture wanted to hold on to the Katzenjammers. And there's the little king, who's a silent character, I believe.
Well, he's not little, just he has his feet are teeny. Oh, Blondie. Now, Blondie and Cookie. Mm-hmm.
That's a little fantasy right there, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, Your Highness.
We're gonna turn it on.
Here's a fantasy killer.
Gonna give you the power. HMS Hilarious has been converted into a troop transport.
Fool's gonna drain, then Star's gonna dive in and crack his noggin.
Yeah, the Katzenjammer Kids could be the oldest strip on there. That is a very good.
I think so, because we're talking like 1880s, 1890s.
I think so.
It goes way back.
Didn't Katzenjammer send that telegram that started World War One? Oh, great call. Everybody who gets this one, it's dirty. That's a Tijuana Bible in the making. Oh, yeah.
Did you just buy to a hockey puck?
And that's Henry.
Hey! Henry doesn't have a mouth. Drawing mistake.
Henry was like Ziggy before Ziggy. Ugh.
That's. But why is all the water like murky and dark?
Why, they run out of blue? Now that I think about it, I'm not seeing anything on this screen that's blue.
That is a little faded.
I do like Snuffy Smith. Always been a Snuffy fan.
Yeah, like Snuffy.
Does everybody remember what his horse is named?
Oh, God. You have to tell me. I don't know.
See if anybody... Atkins says Sarge was coughing up Popeye bathwater.
What kind of kinky arrangements do they have?
So everybody gets their own version of a hamburger.
Well, all of those are just tiny. Shouldn't it have been like more of a hot dog?
I'm sorry. So the black kid gets a soul food burger?
Hey, it was 1972. Hey, there's the horse. Do we have his name yet?
The horse, his name has been provided by Chris Bach, our own Chris Rulebach, Spark Plug.
That's right. I remember now.
Great balls of fire. Goodness gracious. All right. That's pretty funny. This is like the origin story of El Kabong. Was Granny in Beverly Hills modeled off of Snuffy? That's a good question, actually, because Snuffy definitely came first.
Well, I mean, I would maybe Jed. I mean, because the guy had the same clothes, didn't they?
Yeah, I think so.
No, okay. Now we're on some island with. Oh, it's a commercial.
It's a commercial.
And let's eat our Captain Crunch while we watching our movie.
That's Dawes Butler providing the captain's voice. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm behind on comments. Chris says, "Are they cruising in the Charles River? Check that watercolor." Remember this, not the KGB, it's Wimpy's Catering. That's true. Scott says Snuffy Smith for when Little Abner is too highbrow. Chris says,
So did they only play one commercial when they played the movie? Or did somebody just edit it out all but one?
that is really weird. This was chain. This was taped at some point, but I don't know from whence.
Yeah, maybe they liked the commercial and left it in. They should have brought Captain Crunch on into the movie. They could have stopped at some dinosaur island while on the cruise.
That would have been fun.
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
I mean, that bikini is barely there. Look at this. Ooh.
sorry, I'm gonna make
A 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4.
this has haunted my mind my whole life.
Quick, let's go! Down I look dreamy in my bikini. Down I look dreamy in my new bikini.
I like it.
Won't you come and see me in my new bikini? Aha!
I had no idea olive oil was a
I've
freak.
been waiting oh so long to
These are
shake
close
my hips and to sing this song. Oh, don't I look dreamy in bikini? Aha!
Such an enchanting song, yeah.
These two horny kids.
But I have an idea to make it even better.
Oh.
Gives me Skipper Popeye's telescope.
Oh my god.
So, good shot. Use Olympic material, Hans.
Oh, that was nice. Gave her some shape, though.
Oh my god. This is cool.
I've been waiting oh so long to shake my hips and to sing this song. Oh, don't I look dreamy in my new bikini? Oh,
Uh-oh.
It's like,
don't I look dreamy?
Ugh.
yeah, what's going on here?
yourself, Oaf.
What would your mother say
Olive
if she
oil
walked in
and the
and
rest
watched
of those fools will be our prisoners here soon enough. Aha! What do I mean, aha? Brutus, press the button for the electromagnetic beam. I will now capture the comic. I will... Not that button, idiot! No, no, no! I will press the button myself.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, that's a good question you asked, Joe. If my mom had walked in on me watching that, I wouldn't be able to watch this thing anymore.
The cartoon porn? What's going on? I was wondering
Yes.
to get into some diabolical scheme.
The ship appears to be steering itself, thus leaving both hands free for more important matters.
Where's Wimby getting all his burgers?
Shot most of their budget on the rights to that spectacular song for olive oil. Oh, I remember the thing I wanted to say. Olive oil song, as awful as it was,
Yeah.
still better to me than anything Patti Smith ever recorded.
Quiet! Disembark at once. I accept the ship.
Oh,
I always wondered how Blondie got, Dad would always got like a hot girl like Blondie. I mean, such a dork.
He has to save me spinach. You gotta save my vacation.
The
spot.
live
Remember
action,
when Blondie first started, she was like a flapper from the 20s.
right? That's
Yeah.
right. Well, the same thing with Nancy's Auntie Fritz.
Yeah.
She was a hot number too.
Yeah, I can't get behind this talking sweepy. Sorry.
It's so true. I came from the same era that all these other people came, and I'm like, Patti Smith is not good, and it is one of my hottest takes from the 80s. You know, this might be true, actually. Scott says Dagwood used to be rich.
He was disowned for going out with Blondie. That's exactly right.
Oh my God, I forgot all about that.
That was the original concept. He was a rich guy and said, out of here. So he had to go work for Mr. Dithers.
So now our heroes are in action. There's Steve Canyon. No, I'm sorry. That's not Steve Canyon, is it?
No, I think so. That's Steve Canyon.
The one drawn by Milton Caniff.
Yeah.
Terry. Wait a minute. Terry and the Pirates? Ah, geez. I thought I came into this thinking I knew what was going on.
I think it's Steve Canyon, but maybe someone in our audience can clarify for us.
Maybe, maybe it's Steve Canyon. Okay, so now there's flames in the sky.
Now
Mandrake's like, damn, dude, that's what I do.
You're a magician, but how did you do that trick? Just as I thought.
because I'm a magician, idiot.
Really exist.
And a magician never reveals his tricks.
Up here to frighten us off.
Meanwhile, Luther over there acting like everything's cool and he's definitely not a servant.
Now, kids, once upon a time, there was a thing called a pinball machine.
Push the button, and this time, don't
Right. Who would even know that reference anymore?
press the light switch.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know, man.
This yellow one here.
Now there's Brody, like she's mad about Patti Smith. So she's like, I think we can all agree the Nancy cartoon was the least funny cartoon ever. Even Family Circus ranks higher in my opinion. I love Nancy, but I think one of the reasons why I love Nancy is because Bill Griffith from Gabba Gabba Hey. Oh. Zippy the Pinhead. Bill Griffith, the artist on Zippy the Pinhead, is obsessed with Ernie. Oh man, the guy Ernie Bushmiller, the guy who draws Nancy, and I love Nancy. But back to the subject. The Blondie films are great. Maybe we should see if we could do a Blondie film.
That'd be fun.
We'll check that
And
out.
that was well cast too. I remember all the actors being very well suited for the roles.
They had those same people worked on the radio show as well, and their voices were great. The actors were terrific, but yeah, they really did look like the roles.
Do we remember what their son Alexander was called when he was just an infant?
Tater?
Baby dumpling.
Damn it.
I think Cookie was always Cookie.
Hey, I didn't realize Dale Arden was in this as well as Flash Gordon.
Well, Flash can't go anywhere without Dale.
So yeah, they were making reference to Steve Canyon. Rafael Rosario, did he just put his arms through the front window? Yes.
I'm telling you, they should have just incorporated the Captain Crunch people into the movie.
Seriously, I would much rather watch a Captain Crunch movie, honestly.
Yeah, because I mean, they're on a boat. We could do the same things. And you can't eat burgers for breakfast. Well, you can, but brand new cinnamon crunch.
This is a line from Brody that could only exist on Retro Rangers. I'm not a huge Patti Smith fan, but I rank her higher than Nancy cartoon. That could only happen here on this show with our people.
It's that scintillating debate that keeps us thriving. Hey, it looks like Blue Oasis, or what is it called?
Dale, we're approaching target. I'll splash down in the landing module. You keep the ship in an orbit.
Be careful, Flash.
Well, I thought Dale was cute, but she's got kind of a weird
If I need
jaw.
help, I'll contact you by solar radio.
Here, I'll contact you with this. Look at it for about another minute. Yeah, Kathy was terrible. Kathy was a terrible cartoon. Talking about Patti Smith or Patti Smith.
Why is Flash Gordon like swimming? He's supposed to be in space.
I couldn't. Doesn't the man have a jetpack?
Well, here comes the welcome wagon.
Well, it's his opportunity to show off his physique in his wetsuit.
Buster Crabbe, was he a swimmer? He was, wasn't
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
There you
No
go.
use slugging it out with him. There must be another way up to the.
And I'm smiling. Look how I'm saying it.
This one out.
Flash. Oh no.
Oh boy.
Well, that was poorly planned. Hey, McGear's here.
Hey, McGear.
The line between Flash Gordon and Aquaman is very fine at best. Agreed. Oh my God, that water.
Yeah, all the water looks like it's been like defecated in it. And don't we just love Saturday morning limited animation? Oh,
1972, man. They still had not figured it out.
So far, the rescue team is batting 0 for 4.
You know, I'm sure the comics
Is
are
that
on
Sam
side.
Jones as Flash Gordon?
Little do the fools
could
Wearing
be.
he's got to wear blue contact lenses because his eyes are naturally brown.
Maybe someone would rescue
Well, also dyed his hair, didn't he?
Hey, I got an idea.
Yes, he did. He did actually. He's a brown-haired guy, brown hair, blue eyes.
Yeah, we first saw him briefly in 10.
Oh, I didn't realize he was in.
Yeah, he was the groom. He was in one scene. I don't think he had any dialogue.
Ain't that smart of them kids, Paul? Launching a message in your jug.
What's he holding on to?
An imaginary jug, I think.
Oh, someone took it.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Kids never get between an alcoholic and his jug.
Wait a minute, weren't they on a boat?
Well, they've been captured because of that big electrical lasso.
Well, that's what I get for talking to the whole movie. Hey, at least Snuffy got his jug back.
I'll never see the poor dear again. He was such a good, honest,
Goodness gracious. Great balls of fire.
Boom.
What in thunder you mean running off like that and leaving me in Jug 8 here? You low damn good for nothing.
I always wondered about that marriage. How did it start? How did it go? Why were they ever? It was like Andy Capp's marriage. Why are you together?
Ooh, scary Skuldor.
It's the Phantom and Tim Tyler.
Tim Tyler?
Is that his little buddy, or is that a different character altogether?
Different character. Tim Tyler, I guess, was a comic strip character way back too. He used to have his own radio show as well.
The island is a dormant volcano.
Have the other two guys had any dialogue?
Everyone talks like this, except Phantom. Phantom talks like this.
Okay, shake the camera.
It certainly is Mandrake the Magician.
Absolutely, Raphael. He doesn't give up his tricks either.
Never figured out if Snuffy has a mustache or if that's nose hair. Where's the yellow kid? Well, obviously the Katzenjammers have done away with him.
Yes, competition.
Good evening. This is
Oh, that's wild. Tim Tyler played Phantom in the movie serial. I knew that name from somewhere.
As you know, they were last
So they take a real guy and put him in the cartoon alongside the Phantom?
I think he's shadowing the Phantom to play him in an upcoming movie.
Okay.
It's a ride along.
Directing Operation Laugh-Line.
Of course, this one is killing me. Wait, is this the Xenu origin story? I just want to say, none of us has anything bad to say about the Xenu people.
Okay.
You're all awesome. Don't harass us.
Now, aside from the meanie guy, these are only two other original characters to this film, I believe. We just needed a newscaster in general, so we had to invent one.
Says the rescue team has disappeared. That's pretty doping when you're
Disappeared.
General, we're on national TV. You'll have to watch what you're saying. And in conclusion, General Windtunnel says this is the kind of crisis that tests the fiber of our national purpose, but he is confident the American way of life will emerge triumphant, and he has assigned me to 3 weeks of KP.
Every kid's like, what's KP?
It's working. It's working. My scheme is
KP?
working. Now we'll take a look at our guests and let them have a look at us.
Wait a minute, wasn't Brutus on the boat watching Oliver in her nifty bikini?
No, he was watching it on the big monitor.
Oh, okay.
Remember, because he picks up the evil guy and starts humping him.
Oh, yeah. That...
Grimsby, and I want to welcome you here.
The things we've seen.
Hey, what's the big idea holding us prisoners?
Very simple.
Biscuiters.
I hate laughter. You comic characters
I
are responsible for
really
a great
enjoyed
deal
the
of
Billy
laughter.
Zane Phantom
I also
movie,
hear on the
and I
Secret
do
Island,
watch
and
it every
I
few
stand
years.
out.
I agree.
Well,
It
that's
is.
Yeah,
what
it was
Snuffy
great.
is the lowest,
Yeah,
most
I-
despicable trick I ever
Perfectly
heard of.
cast, fun,
Oh, why,
Yeah.
thank you, Mrs. Flagstone.
You shouldn't hate laughter.
and despite what people may think of
What's
now, I
wrong with being
enjoyed
miserable?
Alec
Oh,
Baldwin in The
Professor,
Shadow.
you just
Personally,
Oh
laugh.
yeah.
No proof
Yeah.
to
Oh
you
yeah.
it's better
No,
to
same
laugh
here.
than to feel
By
miserable.
by
Oh,
all
yeah? How?
standards, not a great
Well,
story,
put on a comedy
Yeah.
but
show and then you'll
good
have to
cast
laugh,
and
you'll see
really
how
good
life
acting
is
and great
feel.
visuals.
You're
The story
going to
could have
make
been so
me
much better.
laugh? Don't make me laugh.
Now, if Olive Oil appears naked next, I'm out.
You
I'm sorry.
laugh. Will you let it show?
Oh no, I'm in.
All right, Miss Smarty Pants Olive Oil, it's a deal. But if you don't
Chris
make me
Rovac
laugh,
I make
said,
big statements jump there. It'd be like this.
Island twice as long.
How long is twice as long as forever, Professor?
"Ah, I'm an old man. I'm
Hmm,
freaky."
34.
Look at that.
Call my 7 and 8.
Oh, that's funny. This
I hope
screams
she
out
hasn't got
for the
into
"What's
the
Up,
deep water
Tiger
with your
Lily"
fat
treatment.
olive. It'll not be easy to make the professor laugh.
Well, let's
By the way, there were
If anyone
continuity
has any
errors
show business
during that bikini
experience,
sequence, if you
I do
noticed.
they want
Oh my
tonight.
God,
Stop
hang
the
She went
on.
from
show.
being
Ow,
dressed in a
my
bikini back and forth a
suspend
few
is
times. What's he doing with that rock? Both of them.
It's no use, Lothar. We can't budge these rocks.
We can't budge these rocks. What's
Oh,
up with the
rock
Phantom,
slide.
man?
Explosion?
Doesn't know how to project.
Another earth tremor. There's been a shift in the underground fault. Volcano's been reactivated, and the whole island may erupt at any moment.
I'm not going to comment on being on his hands and knees on the ground.
Wait a minute.
Sorry.
We're in an underground cave, right? But the air down here is perfectly fresh.
You know what,
I read
pilot?
the way the
Why don't
air
you
gets in
shut
is the
up?
way
You're a
we send it
pilot.
out. Look up there.
This is outside of your area of
Only way
expertise.
out of here.
Gee, why is the air fresher? Maybe it's that 10-foot grate up
This should
there.
do the job.
There we go. Oh, look at that aim.
Now one of us has to get up there. And
Well,
help
I
the
mean,
other.
you bring one ray gun, you've pretty much solved the whole thing.
Oh, there's no
Yeah,
time to
it-
Peter Cotter. Come on.
It's a mess. This whole story is a mess. Zane shot all his non-costume parts first and then shaved his head so the costume would fit snugly. I loved Billy Zane as the Phantom. Bruce Campbell came within a hair's breadth of beating out Zane for the part. I'm not sure it would have been as good a movie
That's right,
with the
Mr. Wise Guy
wiseassery of
Man
Bruce
Drake.
Campbell.
You'll never make it.
No, I mean, I think it was better the way it went, but,
Now
you know,
let's
it's
see those
interesting to
try make
speculate.
me laugh.
I like how they're climbing rope, though, and it's like, that's what we do. These guys are just doing this, and they're just going,
Would be Daisy, the wonder dog.
hey, Daisy. I was wondering where she
All
was.
right, Daisy. Give me your paw. Now roll over and play dead. Now beg.
Yay.
The result of many hours of difficult training, another dog act, Sarge and Otto.
Gee, I hope this throws stunts.
Is Beetle Bailey English?
I do
Crikey.
appreciate the role reversal here.
I always have to say that Otto the dog was one of my favorite characters ever.
This way.
I just loved his little tooth.
Watch it.
Be careful. There's a mountain lion up here.
Excuse me, but the Phantom knows how to work with. Whoa! That's how you kill a big cat.
All right. I'll leave.
I think so. Let's go.
I've shamed that big cat.
The sound seems to be coming from this direction.
Now what?
So they're in prison, but are taking time to do a talent show. Well,
Now, a musical extravaganza.
Brody, you gotta keep the laughter going. That's our only defense.
Iodine, Quinsky, doing the comic strip rag.
The comic strip rag.
Quincy.
God, I have to admit, I didn't realize he was doing it himself until you mentioned.
Oh dear. We'll just have to get
Well,
on
they're
in the bed
sure.
and sing something.
Well, he keeps doing it. That's the
What
thing.
do we sing? Just make up the words. Sing anything and do a little dance.
Ruff, I don't think they were really discriminating back in 1972 ABC. Remember, this is before Happy Days and Laverne and Shirley.
My name is Popeye. I'm feeling so fine.
And again,
And this is improv.
You're next, Quincy.
What?
Don't worry. Sparkplug will accompany you.
Sparkplug will accompany you.
What's he gonna do? Oh, Trey has the guitar.
This is so racist. They're like, well, you're black. Of course you're an entertainer. Get out there.
Let's have a number.
Make me laugh. What they're making me is hungry. I'm going to go get
Hungry?
You know, you rarely see the villain stop in a movie and go, yeah, I'm going to go get something to eat.
Yeah, time for a snack.
Any ideas about how we can get across this baby?
How about this rope?
There's like a whole river of Popeye's bathwater.
Right on, Tim.
That's what it looks like when he farts in the tub, I think.
Been a rodeo cowboy.
You should have been a rodeo cowboy.
But those other bodies have no weight. Just
I'm the Phantom. I refuse to be heavy.
uh-oh.
Oh no! Phantom's kind of a badass. Gotta admit.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Gee, they're getting awful close. I better tell the professor. Wait, I got an idea. I could scare those guys and show the professor I ain't so dumb. Ha!
Let me tell you, right now, I would murder for a bowl of Captain Crunch. Murder.
Make way, varlets. Sir Brutus is here.
what?
Come on.
No, Bruce ain't so dumb.
Look, up there. What's that?
I didn't know Bruce was dumb. I just thought he was mean.
Oh no, he's pretty dumb too.
Oh.
Varlets, ye make
I understand he's got a podcast right now that tells young men that they live in a disadvantaged time.
This is a job
Oh,
of an old friend of mine. I summon Prince Valiant.
Wow.
What movie would complete without Prince Valiant?
Val, we need your help.
Glad to oblige, man.
I don't understand you. I'm from France.
I'll grind them up into nursery rhymes. I'll chop them into
And this horse and Sparkplug are two different species entirely.
Greetings, Your Highness.
So this is Brutus, and that is a great question. What is the difference between Brutus and Bluto?
Val, glad I could help.
The guy is Bluto on Earth 2.
So that was all they had Prince Valiant do.
That was it?
Jeez. What did that
Special
cost?
cameo by Prince Valiant.
In 2 weeks on the Saturday Superstar movie.
2 weeks?
This is why nobody liked this show. It was an irregular schedule.
One every week.
They cut out the
Follow
preview.
him. Maybe he'll lead us to the comics.
Oh, Dagwood, everyone's putting on such a
Oh,
nice show,
Blondie.
and the professor
She is
has
so
to even
hot.
smile.
Isn't she? She's so
It's
cute.
not me, right? She's hot.
Doesn't make me anything.
Is she
That's not you at
objectively
all.
hot?
She make a sandwich for you,
I have to admit, when when Cookie grew up to be a young lady herself, he said, "Man,
We'll need help.
mother-daughter action there."
Switch, let's go.
Then we got Peg and Peg Bunny and her daughter, so that was good too.
One of these rooms must be the kitchen.
Prince
Oh, there's
it's
that
hard to
banana.
draw.
Wait, who mentioned a banana? Somebody mentioned a. There you
Banana.
go.
Banana salami.
This robot
Oh, yeah.
said, cornflakes and a banana for me. Well, apparently you are the meanest man in the world, Chris.
Let's see now. I done you take care of the veal and the cheese and the mushrooms and the peppers and the onions and the pickles.
What in the world is he
Now
making?
do the mustard.
The mustard.
Everyone ready? Check. Check.
Good grief.
Okay.
So they're making sandwiches for the bad guy because he's hungry.
No, I think they're making it for Dagwood, but
Well, that's a Dagwood sandwich.
it
Okay,
is.
Hans. Throw the other slice of bread up.
Good grief.
Freddie says the difference between Brutus and Bluto is the same difference between Patty Smith and Patty Smith.
Almost. Hand me another slice of tomato and a piece of lettuce.
Don't do it.
How you gonna get through the door?
The sandwich. Ooh, you did it, Quincy.
Uh-oh, you let go of it.
Oh,
Dang,
I
that
did
was
not
heavy.
see that coming.
Look at the bread-shaped hole.
That was a sandwich.
All right. Dig
All right.
in, guys.
Smart guy, kid.
And Flash Gordon sees that. He's like, now that was a sandwich.
I'll give them the most ferocious, most horrible scare of their lives.
This Captain Crunch commercial took a weird turn.
No, Scott, actually, we were beyond the Captain Crunch commercial. He thought we were still watching the commercial. That kid has no head, just hair strands. What? Are we doing some scat now?
This is what happens when you have to work clean. Well, it's kind of fun.
I am speechless. I have no speech. Oh, he's making him laugh. Stop laughing, you weasels.
Oh, yes, Quincy. It was a ridiculous, funny picture you kids showed me. I couldn't help myself.
Oh, he learned to laugh at himself.
Oh, what a life-affirming lesson for youngsters.
The shock set the volcano going. It's only a matter of minutes now.
I better choke him to death with my hands. Damn, Phantom!
And I think they followed me here. Who cares, Brutus? I've learned to laugh.
Which way did they go?
I love everyone now.
Oh, God.
Professor, volcano under this island is going to erupt any minute.
Come
Is
on.
there any way to get off?
We gotta go. Or else we're gonna die.
We're gonna die.
Secret dock. Follow me.
Oh, now we're going on a submarine.
That doesn't look like everybody.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Canyon. You're so strong.
Oh, Olive.
And cute.
Control yourself.
Anyone could tell from looking at us we were meant for each other.
Oh,
Oh,
my.
poor Popeye.
A great babysitter, Devil.
A little hussy.
I'm telling you, this olive oil is a freak.
She is.
I'm next. Brutus, I'm ashamed of you.
Oh, come on. And doing that in Pride Month. Snatching wigs. No. No, Popeye, no.
I don't think that submarine will hold Brutus, let alone all of them.
They managed to get everybody in there. They can't draw it, so they just showed us that dark screen.
That volcano's sure to go off any minute now.
Oh, there she blows. Oh, we're stuck.
The shot to destroy the sun.
If I only had me spinach.
Popeye, look.
Shut up, old boy, you cheater.
Shut up, you hussy.
Isn't it great that just happens a whole bunch of spinach just in the water, you know?
Hey, in Popeye cartoons, it's like spinach is in like, torpedoes and
that's true.
buried treasure. It's all sorts of freaky.
It's working. We're free.
Not comfortable with this cross cartoon canoodling. Olive Oil gets some self-esteem, damn it.
I mean, there are a lot of, good-looking, dudes here to flirt with, I grant you. Oh,
Ahoy down there.
Popeye! What do you mean by scaring us like that?
Uh-oh. We're near the end.
Isn't it exciting?
wait, are those sheep on the lawn?
What his food lunch will be?
Well, I was hoping maybe it'll be a big sandwich, Mrs. Bumstead.
You want to be president when you grow up, Tiger?
I was
Or maybe
forgiven.
something even more important. Like what? A shortstop?
Read it. The chief is pleased you could all come as his guests. He sends his apologies for being delayed, but he'll be with you shortly.
And because this is the Nixon administration, I'm going to need all of you to go to Vietnam.
Your country needs you in the southeast. Oh, look, he's reading the funnies.
Oh,
I think
those
it's
funny.
Sean.
Very funny. Oh, those aren't sheep. Those are tables with people sitting at them.
Lou Silverstone, you know who Chris knows who we know him from.
What's that?
Mad Magazine.
Oh.
Look at all the voice talent. Wow,
Okay.
that was quite an adventure.
I got to get this because I don't want us to get in trouble. Okay. Oh, my goodness. What a Donnybrook. What a brouhaha. I'm trying to come up with some phrase that isn't like monkey F. S show. Oh my God.
Now, clearly this was originally titled The Man Who Hated Laughter. Why was it expanded to Popeye meets ... for subsequent, promotions and so forth? He was barely in it.
That is a very good question. I'm going to guess that somebody in charge of the licensing was like, the biggest name here is Popeye. That's going to pull people in. And maybe in the 70s, it was a different thing. Well, that was a thing we all just watched, says Diana. Next week, a crossover special with Fraggle Rock. Oh, don't even offer that. People will go crazy.
Yeah. I wonder how many Saturday Superstar movies they made, because they were all really out there, as I recall.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Take a look at the old wiki page. I mean, hell, we got a little time.
Digging Raphael's avatar this week, the Tasmanian Devil. Very nice.
I'm assuming that is one of Raphael's favorite characters.
You know what? I mean, he should have been in the movie too.
Oh, look at that. Tim Tyler was a thing, I guess. Tim Tyler is an adventure comic strip created by Lyman Young, elder brother of Blondie creator Chick Young. Oh.
Okay, so Tim Tyler was a character.
Yes. The strip ran from 1928 to 1996. Wow.
Never heard of it.
And of course, as Scott was showing us in his profile picture, there was the Defenders of the Earth, and that debuted in '86. I remember that very well. I was a senior in college watching this cartoon.
Defenders of the Earth.
But to answer your question, so the ABC Superstar movie that was retitled The New Saturday Superstar Movie for its second season.
Okay.
And it apparently had 17 episodes in season 1 and 3 episodes in season 2.
Well, they had to go make it new and screw it up.
They must have been rerunning from the previous one. That might have been
it, yeah.
Yeah.
But 17 in a cartoon season is pretty impressive.
It's a lot. And that girl in Wonderland, oh my God. Yeah, this has to be pilots. That girl for kids, so she's in Wonderland. Oh boy.
Well, yeah, that just reeks of pilot, because it was very common to take characters from primetime shows and put them into more fantasy situations.
Yeah.
I mean, Fonz and the Happy Days gang, for example.
That's right.
Yeah.
So apparently there was a children's cartoon called Love Cast USA, which was a child's show loosely based on Love American Style.
That would have to be very loosely based, I would think.
Daffy Duck and Porky Pig meet the Groovy Ghoulies. No.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
The Groovy Ghoulies.
You mentioned Daffy Duck and Porky Pig while still the mention of the children's Love American Style still hanging in the air. It says, wait a minute, what about those two in this show? Little interspecies romance.
So there was a proposed cartoon called The Red Baron. That was the, why is that dog flying a, German World War I plane?
I remember the banana splits in Hocus Pocus Park.
Oh, wow. You do? I saw
do.
that.
I remember that, watching that. And we were talking, I can't remember, maybe it was on Webo Mystery. We were talking about our wonderful Saturday morning characters, animated and otherwise, appearing in horror movies subsequently. And I have had the misfortune of watching both the Banana Splits and Winnie the Pooh in their horror movies. And boy, you talk about garbage.
I cannot believe you even gave those the favor of watching them.
Well, at least the Winnie the Pooh one didn't look like Winnie the Pooh, but they got the actual Banana Splits costumes for their horror movie, and it was just vile. I agree with Brody. We must watch Daffy Duck meeting Groovy Ghoulies.
All right, let me write it on the list. Groovy Ghoulies crossover. I used to watch the Groovy Ghoulies as a kid.
Yeah.
I believe what was on the other channels I didn't like, but I did not like Groovy Ghoulies. But I'll watch it with you guys because I made you watch it after all.
Maybe you'll have a new appreciation for them as an adult.
Well, I just can't believe that the really great Warner Brothers characters crossed over with the incredibly crappy Groovy Ghoulies. Okay, what else? Oh, Scott, yes, we've been waiting to hear about this. Speaking of failed pilots, watch out for The Pilot's Graveyard coming soon from Scott Free. We will do everything we can to help, my friend.
Absolutely. Right in my alley, too, as far as interesting stuff. I love that type of material.
Oh, yeah. That's that is the sweet spot for me and Joe. That's one of our favorite things about Retro Rangers is these obscure things, and some of them we saw, and that's always wild for me. Just for Brody, I'm gonna sing "Catch That Pigeon, Catch That Pigeon."
That is unknown to me. That's a new one.
Catch That Pigeon. This was one of the ones with Dick Dastardly, and it was a carrier pigeon, and they were always trying to stop him. And Muttley there was a version of Muttley in that. He had a little aviator's cap on. He would do this little laugh.
John, do you realize there were 60-plus-year-old men talking about Muttley and Dick Dastardly?
You know what?
Why not? They're timeless, just like
no one else is going to talk about them. That's what I love. Atkinson wants to see this Banana Splits horror film.
Readily available on streaming, as far as I know.
I mean, yeah, I don't think it's going to be as much fun as you think it's going to be, John. But hey, you enjoy your stuff.
My memory of it is it's just really, it's not long, but it just seems long and tedious. But give it a whirl.
Hong Kong Phooey, #1 super guy. Hong Kong Phooey, quicker than the human eye. He's got style, groovy style, and a car that just won't stop. When the going gets rough, he's super tough with a Hong Kong Phooey chop. Ha! All right, there you go.
Voiced wonderfully by Scatman Crothers.
That's right.
#1 super guy. John, we could have a whole episode just us singing cartoon theme songs. I used to love singing Tom Slick.
Tom Slick. Am I right?
Yeah. Shall I finish it for us?
Yes, please.
Tom Slick, in the thunderbolt grease slapper when he's on your tail. He won't stop because he knows there's no such word as fail to. Tom Slick down, Tom Slick down.
Oh, that's so good.
Well, who was the guy? It was an LA local station when I was a kid. Oh, I feel, please help me out, somebody. But it was every Saturday morning. It was like Popeye cartoons, but they also played like the Tom Slick and George of the Jungle line of cartoons as well. Yes. Tom Hadley, was that his name?
I don't know.
I'm close, but it was just I loved it. I think he played that show every Sunday morning. I believe it was KTLA.
Wow. George of the Jungle, strong as he can be.
Watch out for that tree.
Scott says there's another show for you guys to produce, the Saturday morning sing-along with Weber and Townsend. It's tempting. Oh, it is tempting. Oh, my friends. Well, I think we're at the end. I mean, if anybody could think of anything else to do, We can't really show anything else because we haven't cleared it for copyright. So
we can't show it. I mean, the discussion could go on, but I just have to wrap that up. My thought is, how do you assemble these random, diverse cartoon characters into one animated movie? Well, the answer is just have no plot and just have them randomly show up here and there.
Well, there's a very tough thing that you've got to do in playing clean. And in 1972 and 1973, I remember that was around the time that the mothers groups started to, attack the TV networks. Because do you remember the cartoon? I actually really liked it. Matchbox. No, I'm sorry. Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels had a cartoon.
Yeah, of course I remember the toys, but I vaguely remember there was a cartoon. Was that kind of questionable in mothers' minds? Was it violent or?
It was a toy. It was a product.
Yeah.
If you do what I'm just doing their reasoning. This isn't my reasoning. This is
I understood. I'm just curious as to what the problem was.
It's a half-hour commercial. It's a half-hour toy commercial if you do Hot Wheels in 1971 or whenever it was. Now, later, there was some kind of rule. There was some FCC guideline or something that said you should not put any child's toy or child product in entertainment because it's a commercial in essence. And that's not right. You should not do that. And of course, President Ronald Reagan and his FCC got rid of that rule. And that's how we got Strawberry Shortcake, My Little Pony, He-Man, G.I. Joe. So in short, it was one of the good things Reagan did.
Yeah, I was going to say that as far as that rule goes, I have one response. I mean, that's, again, we could have had Captain Crunch in the movie.
I would have.
Yes, we're in product placement, but who cares?
I would have loved that. Like the Simpsons, Mattel, and Mars Bar Quick Energy Chocobot Hour.
The Chocobot Hour. I need to watch that.
Apparently, Brody did some searching. Mandela Effect. It's actually Get That Pigeon, not Catch That Pigeon. The show was called Dastardly and Muttley and Their Flying Machines. I remember that.
You know what? I bet it's a Mandela Effect. It's why some people remember Bluto and others remember Brutus. So we now have proof documented tonight that it was Brutus.
Well, yeah. There's got to be some story to that.
Yeah.
Now, we would actually have a hard time doing that because even though Popeye is in the public domain, the stuff that he was, and some of his stuff is public domain, but some of his stuff is very much not, and it's owned by Paramount, and you got to be careful. But I have found some Popeye cartoons that were labeled public domain on YouTube, so we might be able to check that out because some of them are really good, like especially the cinematic ones they would show before a movie. Some of those could be.
Do we remember that Popeye was essentially a spinoff of Betty Boop?
No. Is that true? Because I know
my recollection is that there was a Betty Boop cartoon that she barely appears in, but the name of the Betty Boop cartoon was Popeye the Sailor Man. The character didn't originate there, but in terms of animation, I believe that was his first appearance.
In terms of animation, yeah, you could be right about animation because, it wasn't like he had his own beginning. He was part of Toonerville Trolley.
Yeah.
So that's
Toonville
kind of
Trolley or Toonville Trolley.
But I think Scott's right. It was called Thimble Theater, I think.
I just remember that Betty Boop cartoon for that and one other reason. It was one of the few where she wore only a lei and no top.
Hello.
And unlike Olive Oil, she pulled it off.
I gotta give some credit to our comments here. McGear says the rule was that the content in the ads had to be clearly defined, and that's why they always had "We'll be back" right after these messages bumpers. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. I'm not sure John Atkinson meant to say I watch Dastardly and Butley every weekend.
Well, maybe you did.
Well, we all have our favorite VHSs. Yeah. I just have to say.
Well, and the last comment makes sense to me too about identifying the upcoming commercials, because when Captain Crunch first appeared tonight, I thought it was part of the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and unfortunately, it's like, hey, why does this movie look so good all of a sudden? Brody says the difference between Pluto and Brutus lies primarily in their names, origins, and the context in which they appear in the Popeye universe, but in most interpretations, they are the same character. I wonder if his name is Bluto Brutus.
Yeah, it could be a first and middle type situation.
That, I mean, you know, an alliterative name, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Apparently Bluto was changed to Brutus due to potential legal rights issues. Yeah.
Well, were they afraid that Animal House was going to sue them or something?
No, that, you know, it's something early on. Oh my God. I don't get Boomerang. I wish I did, because they got Popeye on there. Now Scott Free says Betty Boop was a spinoff from Bosco. I feel like that's familiar. Yeah. And he continues, which spun off from Out of the Inkwell with Coco the Clown. Coco the Clown.
More clown.
Bastard. Let's talk about what's happening next week. Very exciting show Sunday night next week. It is another one of Joe Townsend's Dread Time stories. Joe, what can you tell us about things that go bump in the day?
Well, not much without spoiling. However, I will say, as the ad indicates, it is another riveting tale from the Anticipation collection that I co-authored with 6 other talented writers. And I'll tell you right now, since you asked, John, that this tale ties in, not tightly, but it does tie in with a story in the upcoming Horror Springs Eternal.
Oh, nice. So a little bit of
we'll be plugging that story, I believe, during this episode. So you'll see the connection there.
Yes. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, good. All right. I'm very excited about that. So that's next Sunday at our 7 p.m. Pacific and 10 p.m. on the Eastern Coast. We will be doing Chapter 6 of Joe Townsend's Dread Time stories. And I feel I should tell folks this. Joe and I have discussed this from the very beginning of producing this show, Dread Time Stories, that this is going to be a limited series. We're clearly not going to be able to do years and years of these. So get them while they're hot. You want to be part of the cool crowd. And that will be next Sunday evening. This coming Tuesday evening. Yeah. What do you think about this one, Joe? What do you have to say about this episode of Retro Trekkers?
You know what? I hope people will join us and appreciate the episode like we do. Of course, Eric Kramer is scheduled to be with us. He couldn't be with us last week, but he'll be back this Tuesday. The episode itself, the Andorian incident, a very good early episode of Enterprise, episode 7 in the first season.
Oh, wow. Yeah. It's
really set forth some, as far as being a prequel, especially, some really interesting aspects of both the Vulcans and the Andorians. So, yeah, I think it's a good one to check out for sure.
I think that if you want to know about the very beginnings of the Federation, you really got to pay attention to stories like this one. How did the Federation become what it would become? It wasn't all flowers and candy. There was a hard scrabble beginning to the Federation. The Federation does not exist in Enterprise, does it, Joe?
No, it does not. This takes place, or begins taking place, in Earth year 2151, which is 10 years prior to the formation of the United Federation of Planets. And we also should point out, too, that, as John reminded me, this is the first appearance of Shran, who is the lead Andorian. Of course, Jeffrey Combs, playing the character, had played so many wonderful parts throughout the Star Trek franchise. And this was, I think he really came into his own, especially with this character. Shran was really compelling. He would have been a regular character had the series continued to a season 5. So,
Jeffrey Combs is clearly doing some of his best work in this episode. He is so fantastic. And this doesn't mean anything to anyone, but personally, my favorite aliens after the Vulcans, after the Klingons, my favorite aliens are the Andorians. I feel like we never got to see enough of them. We never got to know them enough. And they are very different. They're very alien.
Well, I'll a preview, a sample Townsville tidbit. We'll mention it again during the show, I think. But as far as Andorians go, this is the first appearance of Andorians since the original series.
No,
there were mentions, and we saw an Andorian very briefly in season 3 of TNG, The Offspring, when Data's trying to get his daughter's appearance down.
Yeah.
But really, there was almost nothing to them as a character or a race of characters. And this was the beginning of a huge fleshing out of this race. And again, Jeffrey Combs is largely credited to doing that.
It's a great episode. We hope you'll join us on Tuesday. It's going to be a lot of fun. And coming up this Thursday on Webo Mystery, this is one, Joe, you can back me up on this. I put this one on the schedule really early when we started doing Webo Mystery, and I rescheduled it maybe 20 times. Literally the can that got kicked down the road. Because I wasn't sure if people would really like it. Some of the shows that I did early on Webo Mystery were shows that I love, and I was hoping other people would love them too. But we don't do great numbers with some of those shows. So hopefully you'll tune in on Thursday. Hopefully you'll like Casey, Crime Photographer. He was based off of a pulp character who was called Casey, Crime Photographer. Sometimes he was called Flashgun Casey. Sometimes he was called Casey of the Gazette. He was a really worn character. He's a well-worn character in the 40s and the 30s. The show is fun. I really enjoy the characters on the show. I really enjoy the actors, and I'll have some news about them, some information about them. But yeah, I'm hoping you guys will like Casey, Crime Photographer. A lot of times when I sit down to relax and listen to a show that I know I'm going to enjoy, I'll choose a Casey episode.
Well, and speaking from personal experience, especially since the debut of Webo Mystery, I have found that little known or even unknown characters, once I give them some time, become among my favorites. I'm sure this will be one of them.
It's stylistically a good show. It is well written, and the characters are a lot of fun. And I mentioned on a previous episode that the commercials are terrible, and that's fun too. It's Anchor Hawking, the greatest name in glass.
Okay.
And the other day I broke a one of those glass measuring cups, one of those liquid measuring cups. Yeah. And so I had to get a replacement. And I was out there, and of course, it's there's that one company, Pyrex. Of course, everything's Pyrex. But I saw that there was an Anchor Hawking one, and I bought that one just out of my love and loyalty to Casey.
I mean, John, at least you don't have to replace a window, because that can be a pain in the glass, right? So.
Oh man. Oh, the comment section has gotten to you, Townsville. You are of the body. You are of Landrew. I have no idea. Chris Robot could be. There was that old, archetype of the guy with the camera, and could be. You know, it's a great idea, and I'm very gratified that Scott agrees it's a good comfort show. It is, and I also want to say that when I created this picture on the service that I use, which is Night Cafe, when I created this picture, and I created many other pictures, this was the one that got the most votes, the most people who liked it. I think they like this handsome fellow. So
handsome, has his camera at the ready. How can you go wrong?
Unfortunately, I wanted one of those big cameras. You know, remember the big, hey, smile for the camera with the flash gun and all that. They gave me this little camera. It's fine. It's fine. All right. Well, I think that is it. I've stretched this show out as much as I could because I hate saying goodbye. But what a lot of fun. Thanks everybody for joining us to watch that terrible cartoon from 1972. Good
terrible. That was delightful. Seeing all our wonderful characters all in one. Okay, I can't even sell that. Yeah, it was terrible.
Right. Thanks everybody for watching. It is so much fun to do this with you. We will be doing it a lot more next week, of course. We've got a Dread Time story, so that's always fun. I love helping Joe put those together. And, yeah, good point. Like and subscribe if you haven't. Please do, because you may have noticed we're on Retro Rangers HQ right now. So we don't have a lot of likes or subscriptions on this one. So this channel, our risky business channel, I hope you belong to it. That would be really great if you could sign up for that.
Because John wisely decided that if we're going to go down, better take down the lifeboat than the whole ship.
We're on the Hesperus 2 right now. We are not on the Hesperus 1. Thanks everybody. What an absolute blast you made this terrible choice of cartoon. You guys make it work, and we really appreciate it. Great to have you back, Atkinson. I hope we can get you in some more weeks in the future. And thank you, Joe.
And thank you, John. And thanks everybody. It's always such a great time to watch terrible stuff with you. And good stuff too.
WAP, you rascals.
Set your popcorn, warm up your TV. Captain John, Commander Joe got something to see. We're all back in time to the golden past with the Retro Rangers. Oh, it's such a blast. We're flying high with the Retro Ranger. Give it a try and don't be a stranger. Ranger, strap yourself in for a fun-filled flight. Retro Rangers are flying tonight. Retro Rangers, 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 Retro Rangers.
There he is, wild and untamed. Oh, it's Spider Hat. Beware his kiss, his pleasures unnamed. Yes, it's Spider Hat. Sitting so pretty, way up on John's head. One move of his big spider arms, and brother, you're dead. Oh, Spider Hat, yes, it's Spider Hat. You can't escape his wrath. You're on his evil path. He's on you, his name is Spider Hat. Spider Hat, Spider Hat.